So we are here at the Jaguar and Land Rover display with Christoph, and today he's going to tell us a little bit about these Land Rovers. What would you say for like someone who doesn't know much about cars that would make them interested in getting a Range Rover in general?
Yeah, absolutely. So the great thing about Land Rovers is that they are the perfect vehicle for anything. So dropping the kids off at school, you've got a car that can hold an immense amount of people. You have weather in your area, snow, rain. Yesterday we had a lot of rain here at the LA show. The perfect car that can handle any terrain. Also, luxury. If you want to be in a vehicle that is always comfortable, always luxurious, with a lot of refinement, it's the perfect vehicle, no matter what.
What is your favorite car that you personally like?
Absolutely. So we actually have two of them here on the floor. We have two Discoveries. Now, this has been my favorite vehicle to drive. So far, it's a couple years old, but they completely changed the body style of the previous model, the LR4. This vehicle is lighter and it can handle all sorts of terrain. We're actually driving these vehicles stock, so straight from dealerships. We're driving these in Moab, Utah, which is some of the most intense off-roading in the world, and people could just pick one of these up and drive in those kinds of conditions. And it's also just an amazing vehicle, 7-seater, so you can fit all your friends.
There we go.
And what's great about it is you can actually control all the seats from your smartphone. So even before you get out to the vehicle, you can have it set up exactly the way that you want it to be set up.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Have you driven it off of Utah or any other hard terrain before, like you personally?
So I'm very lucky that I get to drive all of these vehicles for Land Rover and Jaguar in all sorts of different conditions. So about 2 months ago, we were doing our training in North Carolina. We actually have a huge off-road property in Asheville. It's called the Biltmore Estate for Land Rover. And so we were taking all of these vehicles through mud, water, up huge hills. It was amazing. And then on the flip side of that, we were driving the Jaguars on the Blue Ridge Parkway. So just down and up these twisty mountains with all this old growth forest. It was so gorgeous.
So I actually didn't know that Jaguar and Land Rover were sister companies or related. Can you kind of explain to us how they are or what the differences are between them?
Yeah, so Jaguar and Land Rover are sister companies that actually started in about 2012. And one of the reasons that they came together is that they're both iconic British brands. So it makes sense that both these brands are put together. Even though they're wildly different in terms of what they can do, they have that same heritage that flows throughout both brands.
You could explain to me, like, I know nothing about the cars. What are the main differences between Land Rover, Range Rover, and Jaguar?
Absolutely. So Land Rover and Jaguar, they have quite a few differences. One of the main ones is that Land Rovers are made to handle anything, so on-road and especially off-road performance. The Jaguars are more on-road based, although we do have our Pace series, which are our SUVs, so they can handle some terrain. But Jaguars in general are more designed for on-road performance, track performance, pavement, for example. However, something that connects both of them is the heritage, the British heritage, as well as the luxury, the lifestyle of both brands.
Would you be able to show us around some of the cars, maybe check out the interior and tell us what it's about?
I would be more than happy to.
Tell me about this car, the features of it. Basically just convinced me to buy this car because this is beautiful. Like, just from the looks alone, I would get it. But tell me more about it so I can have a little bit more insight.
Yeah, well, so this is our Range Rover. So this is our flagship vehicle, our top of the line in terms of luxury and what it can handle in terms of terrain. And this particular model, this is all brand new for us, our first ever plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. So this vehicle actually has a battery motor as well as a combustion engine. And what you see here in the front, for the first time ever for the Range Rover, we actually have what we call a Touch Pro Duo. So it's two touchscreens. The last few years we were adding more and more buttons because these vehicles can do more and more. So it was getting a little complicated in the center console, but now it's sleek, it's beautiful, it's what people are used to. We all have our smartphones, so why not have our displays in our vehicle match what we have in our pocket?
I do like a more minimalist look. If there's too many buttons, I get confused.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay, so are these like the speakers?
So this actually, all of these
dials.
will just dial, yeah, so depending on what you're doing, so we can touch your seats here as well, can turn on the AC so I can switch to the rear. We can turn the seat warmers on.
The
And-
rear as well?
oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
And then in some of these vehicles, we can also have massage seats.
Oh, my
Stop.
God.
Oh wow.
Oh, yes.
All in one.
In all
basically.
four, in all
in
four
one.
seats.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sold. Just because of that.
Perfect, I did it.
Let's do this. Okay, does it have Bluetooth as well?
It does.
Can I plug my phone in and listen to some music?
Absolutely. And we
Alright.
just started for 19 model years moving forward. We now have the ability to do Apple CarPlay.
How would you connect your Bluetooth?
So you have all of your settings here. You can also do it through your phone, so you'd be able to find the network and actually connect it through your display here. And you can save. So we have a couple of apps for Land Rover. So for example, if you had a destination in mind, you were going to Vegas, for example, you could put in your hotel on your phone, and then as soon as you got into the car, that route planner would sync up with your touchscreen. So it would take the route that you had planned on your phone immediately to your navigation in your vehicle, and then you're
Wow.
off.
Impressive. All right, so I want to hear how the speakers sound on this.
Hey.
All right.
Hey.
I love music, so let's try
We're
this
gonna
out.
play
So we
Ariana
good?
Grande in every car that
In
we
every car, yeah. Do you like this song?
I like Ariana Grande a lot,
She went through a lot.
She went through
and she's still rocking it. Yeah. Beautiful and talented.
Yes.
Couldn't ask for more.
Wow. You can hear the bass really well from back here too.
Oh yeah.
Can you adjust?
Surround
Right.
system, absolutely. And this is one of our higher end, but you can actually go to a 1300 watt sound system, so that'll blow your
I need
socks
the
off.
loudest sound.
Wow. Yeah, I can really feel it. Like, whew.
It's the suit. It's hard to dance in this suit.
What's your favorite song?
I'm more of a rock and roll guy.
Oh,
Nice.
I do like pop. I listen to a lot of pop music as well. I'm kind of all over the map. I grew up with a lot of country as well. I grew up on a ranch, so. Oh yeah.
Line dance? The line dance?
Do you know how to line dance a little bit? Yeah. Perfect.
Thank you so much for showing us around
Thank
this
you.
car. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. I would so buy it.
You were so welcome. It was a
Love this
pleasure
car.
hosting you all.
It was
We-
nice meeting you.
Is there any way that we could, like, I don't know, see how this car drives?
Is there a test
Can
drive?
we drive it?
So, you guys, I can send you to the Drive Lounge, and you guys could actually drive today.
Yay!
Yes.
We're gonna go drive around over.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.